Welcome to Comics League Dark, the premier Comics League news show where we talk about all the news coming out this week from pop culture and DC and Marvel and whoever the heck has a story. So let's bring in our panel.
I am Phoenix!
What's up, Nick?
Hello there.
So today, by the way, I want to show you this. This is the intro I made for Taladia for Gotham Knights.
I'm Robin.
Can I just say you did the world a service by having Pilates logo take up like 90% of the screen.
yeah. The sad part is that that actually made me watch 5 more episodes of Gotham Knights because I had to see if there were any other bad scenes, and
Bruh,
I nearly went crazy.
Oh, we have a Brown Destroyer in the chat.
Hey, what's up, Brown Destroyer? How you doing, my brother? So let's move on to our first topic of the evening. We are going to discuss. Do you want to talk about the Schumacher Cut first, or do you want to talk about No More Gotham Knights?
Let's talk about No More Gotham Knights first. That's gonna be the shorter topic.
Yeah. So Gotham Knights got canceled. The Schumacher Cut. Now,
a bat nipple. Never really the key without it.
We'll free the bat nip. I saw that.
Hashtag free the bat nipple.
That's awesome. Free the spandex. So no more Gotham Knights. That show got canceled. I want to see it burn in the wind. And the funny part is that the directors even said that like they explored like shopping into other networks and no one wanted it.
Yeah, no one wants that trash fire. Like literally, it's on fire.
Yeah. First off, I cannot believe that show was ever like authorized. Which one is that? That's the one where so Batman is killed, and his son Turner Hayes, not even Damian, they just make up another character.
You know that some writers OC.
Yeah, So Turner Hayes is the adopted son of Batman. Again, you had 3 other adopted sons of Batman you could have picked, but you didn't do that.
3.
Yeah. So then he rendezvous with Joker's daughter, Harper Row Bluebird. That's who this character's supposed to be. Her brother Cullen Harper. And then
Wait. Did you say Cullen Harper?
Cullen.
Oh dear God! Twihard wrote this.
Yeah, and then
for those who don't know, the Cullens are the vampire clan from Twilight.
So then you have Carrie Kelly Robin, and if you thought Batcest was weird, so they hint that the reason why she's called Robin is because Batman called her his little Robin. And Nick, right there, that silence tells me everything I need to know.
I'm sorry, I was drinking water when you said that. Now I have to wipe down my whole countertop. Thank you. I needed to clean it anyway.
You're welcome. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we were dealing with. Oh, also Harvey Dent was okay, except when they were interrogating a cop, and a cop called someone by their wrong pronouns or something like that, or wrong name. Harvey Dent told the dude to not dead name the person.
Wait, wasn't Harvey Dent played by Misha Collins?
Yeah, he was one of the most redeemable parts of that show.
Well, he's a Supernatural alum, so like you gotta expect that much.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. Yes, it's fan fiction. That's what it is. It is literally fan fiction.
It is the worst that fanfiction.net could offer.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've read some really bad stuff on fanfiction.net, and this is not the worst.
I have too, and it's like, ironically, all the bad stuff that I read on fanfiction.net has the tag Wonderbat in it.
Oh, you son of a biscuit!
I had to. So,
son of a biscuit.
This show is finally dead. It is finally dead. After one season. Because here's what happened.
Jared, I need to do this. Gotham Knights is dead. Bury it. Consider this a warning.
Dang it, I should have reinstalled that clip. The thing is, here's the thing. Here's the difference between this and Velma. Yes, I'm going to mention that. No one hate watch this
Why
episode.
Did you say that name?
No, here's why. No one hate watched this show. It was as opposed to Velma, which that's probably why they got renewed. But with Gotham Knights, no one watched it. That's why.
Yeah, like literally, like we cringe at some of the parts, but like there wasn't much discourse around Gotham Knights. Like, how many episodes did Gotham Knights get?
I have no idea. Neither do I care.
Yeah, it just seems like it just kind of disappeared. Then like, oh, it got canceled. Whereas Velma, it was like every episode there was just some new thing that got people pissed off. I mean, it's clear Velma writers knew what they're doing. They intended to do the hate watching thing, and they honestly. Yeah. There's one thing I'm going to compliment them on. They played people like a fiddle.
Now, there's a bit of there's good and bad news that went along with this. All right. Superman and Lois was renewed for season 4. That's the good news.
There is some hope in this world.
The bad news is that they got budget cuts, which cut about 90% of the extended cast, which... that could actually be a good thing because now we can focus on Superman. And I was talking to Talati and JJheat about this. Statistically, less filler episodes.
I mean, it's only 10 episodes, so you don't get much space.
Yeah, so, I mean, with the budget cuts, see, I don't think... See, now I'm wondering, is the quality of the show, like, all of a sudden going to turn into the later seasons of Flash?
Well, the answer to that is most likely yes.
Hey, Nick, all of the velocities will be mine. That was a line from The Flash.
Wait, that literally was a line?
In the show.
Oh, God.
This is what, and by the way, people always talk about about how much they don't like Flash's running in the Snyder Cut. I cannot stand Barry Allen's running. It's all like this, and I'm like, this looks stupid.
It's obvious they put him on a treadmill on a green screen. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, as opposed to like in the Snyder Cut, Ezra at least researched with like Olympic sprinters, their form, so he figured the Flash is probably going to look up how to sprint. So there is that.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, at least he put some thought into it as opposed to like running like this and look like a moron. Oh, I just knocked my mic. That's how passionate I am about this. But, yes. But it's like I'm pretty sure season 4 is it for Superman and Lois.
Yeah, they got a state of execution. I was wondering why it suddenly started.
What's up?
So JJheat, what do you think about the Superman and Lois budget cuts?
Hey, less side characters, less filler, less melodrama. I can't complain.
Yeah, and what do you think about this little beauty of a topic?
Long time coming.
Yes. Now, I think we've sped through this topic. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. All right. So for those of you that don't know,
let's get batty.
Yes. Let's get nuts. I need that. I need that drop.
You need it, brother.
So on a recent episode, so Brown Destroyer says, I have a slight issue with current Superman and Lois. There's too much Lois and less Clark. And in fact, they turn him into invisible as Clark. Well, that's just the way DC likes to write Lois, because they like to write her as if she's more important than she actually is. This is my show, so I can bash Lois all I want.
Oh, Jared?
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to bring the cringe.
Hey, what's up, David? How you doing, my brother?
What's up, David?
Yeah, so
Jared.
Yes.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Well, that's a Nick pun for you.
That's what you said.
Yes, you wanted me to get nuts, so I got nuts.
So recently, Kevin Smith was doing a podcast, and he happened to drop something very, very, very big. All right. So for those of you that have been watching this show for so long, you know there's one hashtag that Nick drops literally all the time. And who said Super Sons? Well, we did say Superman and Lois, so there you go. But
yeah, close enough.
But by the way, Tevye, there's no Flash spoilers. I'm seeing it tomorrow too. So our review on it, well, as many of the Comics League crew that I want to see the Flash and review it with me on Monday or Tuesday. One of those days, we're going to do a stream to discuss it. Tevia, how are you feeling about not only did Gotham Knights get canceled, but Superman and Lois got extended despite getting budget cuts? I'm interested to see what you think. So
yeah, no Flash spoilers. Jared already chewed me out, so I don't want anyone else to get chewed out. So please, I've already borne the sins. So please do not spoil the Flash.
One thing I do know is that Nick's favorite Batman character is Spoiler. I had to. There you go. So, there you go. Oh, by the way, she is something in Gotham Knights. But anyway, going back to this. All right,
Jared.
I
I will hit you with a comically large frying pan.
of course. So on Kevin Smith's podcast, he dropped something very interesting. He dropped that Warner Brothers had sent him a copy of the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. He had watched it, and he's going to review it on, I think, the next live show of his podcast. So what that indicates to me, getting the freaking Schumacher cut.
All right,
Let's be honest, that was very likely.
One thing I want to... Because there's one thing I want to ask. Why would Warner Brothers give it to Kevin Smith?
All right, here's my prediction. All right. On the next episode of Kevin Smith's podcast, he's going to announce that the Schumacher cut is getting released. It's getting released. He may not give a date. He may or may not give a date. But he's going to say it's actually going to happen, and they're going to release it sometime this year. You know,
and which it's interesting.
They're doing a bit of viral marketing here,
and I guarantee. I think that this is making it all the more possible we get the Ayer cut, because here's the thing. Isn't it interesting how this happens at the same time as the writer's strike?
Yeah, and the fact that like the Schumacher cut literally exists on a flash drive that they literally let out of the studio to send it to Kevin Smith. That you know. That tells me, like, this is way more farther along than I think any of us realize.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Good PR at the very least.
Yeah, so what I think is going to happen is... I don't know why JJheat left. He probably had some internet problems. But what I think is going to happen... I guarantee... I 100% agree with you, Nick. And then I think what Warner Brothers is doing right now is they're looking at their director's cuts because they need to have content coming out. And here's the thing. Not only is the writer's strike happening, but also the actor strike is going to happen. And if that happens, they can't release stuff. I mean, they can't make new stuff because you can't write. You can't get actors. So they're probably like, what do we have ready to go that we haven't released yet?
They're going to call up Ridley Scott, be like, hey, could you do another cut of Blade Runner, please?
No.
No. God, no.
All of a sudden, Disney starts releasing, hey, we're releasing the original cut of Star Wars on Disney Plus. Also, we're doing the Trank cut, people.
Oh, by the way, that's another thing. There could be a director strike too. So what that means is that everything is halted. That means even Superman. That means even Gunn has to push back Superman Legacy.
I mean, did you hear about all the delays that have been happening for a lot of the Disney movies?
Avatar 4 is not coming out until 2031.
Oh, dear God.
What? What? By the way, how much you want to bet that they're going to use this opportunity to stealth cancel a bunch of these projects?
Probably.
Because from what I hear, it hasn't been widespread confirmed yet, but I think some people got like press releases that they're canceling the Penguin.
Honestly, I thought that was canceled a long time ago. So,
which here's the thing, though. I mean, I like the Penguin. By the way, hey, what's up, Sammy? You get a nice little intro, so there you go.
And Sammy, you're welcome to come on the stream if you wish, or if you just want to hang out in the comment section, that is cool too.
Yeah, I'll see. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for movie night where we talk about Amazing Spider-Man
and Resident Evil 2.
So, movie theater Birdstorm says, I bought Blue Beetle Graduation Day, and I hope to see the Blue Beetle movie, but I want to see how the reviews are. Don't trust any reviews for movies because here's the thing: a lot of those people. get the opinion for the movie for yourself. That's what I always say. That was my
Yeah,
opinion on the
Casual
Snyder
at
movies.
best, chills
Yeah.
at worst.
Yeah, like I'm gonna talk about the Flash a little bit. And be like, that's why like all the people saying like, oh, the Flash movie is amazing. I'm a little bit wary of anything they say until it comes out.
So
That's
Jared, I
fair.
think that's a fair thing to say.
Yep. So is the authority? No, I don't think it's canceled. I don't think anything well, it's kind of interesting. He could use this to like stealth cancel a bunch of stuff. And by the way, this is the most people watching that I've had on the stream in a while. 14 now, 15 people. So welcome to Comics League.
Welcome.
Just want to say, welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
We are
to all the
Comics
gentlemen right down there too.
We
So
are
Blue
Comics
Beetle's
League.
gonna be the. I don't think it's gonna bomb. I don't think Blue Beetle's gonna bomb.
See, the problem with Blue Beetle is he's not a well-known character. That's the problem.
You're really not.
And here's the double issue. Blue Beetle got double screwed because at least the Flash was like a Justice League character. Blue Beetle not only doesn't have the name recognition armor, but it's the reboot.
I mean, the Flash is a top-tier character. I mean, he literally just got a 9-season-long TV show. I mean, people know about the Flash. Flash is right up there with Superman. Like, if there was a Trinity, if there was a quadrilogy, Flash would be number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit.
Yeah. So back to our little, back to the Schumacher cut. So what this is, again, what's interesting is, again, because of all these strikes, Warner Brothers is probably going back to their little backlog. What do we have that people want to see that we can at least put out there as a delaying tactic until we can get this resolved? Because more and more groups are going on strike. Pretty soon pages won't even be able to work. So at this point, they need to put out content. They need to make money.
That's why I said don't be surprised in like a year Disney drops the original cut of Star Wars in HD on Disney Plus. I am literally calling that.
I'm surprised they didn't do that. But and don't be surprised if we're getting the air cut. Do not be surprised.
I think.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, JD? Tell me about Flux Iron Man. I want to say the taste from Iron Man. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Damn.
Iron Man.
There you go. That's such a badass theme song.
And also, we'll start to see stuff get released more physically. Because I don't know if you heard, but like the 2003 Ninja Turtle series finally got the full series released on DVD just recently.
And I think it even includes the movie.
Yeah,
nice.
Turtles Forever. You know, like we're gonna see more of that stuff. Like I honestly feel like we're gonna start to see. Like I feel like this is more like it's kind of a bit of a tangent, but like I feel like we're gonna start to see a shift back towards physical releases. Because I think more and more people are awakening to the fact that like that the streaming services, while convenient, are not a way to have your main consumption of media, and I think like because physical media never really went away. It just started to go down. That's a big
Salty,
one.
nice. I love that. That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, we got he's a big fish in the chat there. So hey, Salty.
What's up, Salty? Love you, bro.
Yeah, but like we're gonna start to see more of a shift back towards physical media because, plus like these companies are gonna want to make more money. So I think we're gonna see more physical media stuff come out.
Oh yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if after Flash comes out, they release a box set that's like every DCEU movie.
Would not be
Okay,
surprised.
we need to make that distinction clear. There's the Snyder stuff, and then there's the Hamada course correct, which just crashed and burned.
Well, I think that I honestly think that they're trying to ignore the Whedon cut, except for some social media posts, because straight up there, it is canon to the Flash. They straight up reference it, which, okay, fine. But the thing is, I get the feeling that WB wants to ignore that cut that does not exist ever came out. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he'll be talking about the Schumacher Cut on the 19th. He'll be showing it at his cinema. Man,
can I just say, none of this would happen without WB being okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? The
Every
WB
bit.
wants this to happen. Okay,
They had-
at the very least they're allowing this to happen. So I think a release is if it's our percentage, I give this an 80 to 85% chance of happening.
I would say 90% chance of it happening. Just the fact that Warner Brothers themselves gave him a cut of it, which means it's probably done, because he would tell us if there wasn't if they had to do more stuff on it, because it could be they just did all this all the stuff that's necessary and just going to release it.
Yeah, because like I said about the thing about the Schumacher cut is there is no CG to fix. There is no scenes to reshoot. It's just digging footage out of the archive, which probably is relatively easy. It's paying an editor to recut it, maybe some color grading, bringing it up to HD, and then that's maybe some sound work, and that's literally it. It's compared to the work they did for the Snyder cut and the work they have to do for the Ayer cut, it's honestly child's play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's no reason to not release this cut of the movie. Like this is, like you just said, Nick, it's practically done. It doesn't require as much of the craziness that the Snyder, even the Ayer cut, would require. It's relative cheap for high-level gains, and plus, here's the thing. DC needs to start making positive PR moves, and this would be a hell of a positive PR move to start releasing all these director cuts.
Also, can you highlight what Salty said after this one too?
Yeah. If there's a way to utterly sabotage any chance of box office success, Warner Bros. Will find a way to
Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings, did you
hang on, Nick? I have to roll this clip.
Yes, that's very appropriate. But did you hear that Warner Brothers has been making an active effort to repair their relationship with Peter Jackson
and Nolan?
Yeah.
What they did, they paid him a seven-figure bonus for Tenet.
And they allowed him to use Warner Brothers facilities for Tenet when I think it wasn't even a Warner Brothers movie.
I think it's Oppenheimer is the one that they let him use, because Tenet was a Warner Brothers movie. That's why he was so pissed off at them.
Yeah, fair enough. But also, I want to highlight, like Critical Blast just said, I feel like, well, first off, the big thing with Disney, the reason why they couldn't re-release the original trilogy was that Fox owned the rights to A New Hope. But that's not an issue anymore. It hasn't been for some time. I think the reason they have is I think they probably know what they have, and it's kind of a break glass if we're screwed kind of scenario.
And we're screwed, and they're screwed right now.
It's kind of the same thing that you had with like Square and a Final Fantasy VII remake, where it's like they knew that any remake of Final Fantasy VII would do numbers, and they kind of saved it for like when they needed to, and like now they're finally doing it.
Salty says two turnaround producers, meaning Big Picture, Big Concept, formerly from MGM, went to New Zealand to see Jackson, but the same two blew up MGM.
You maniacs! You blew it all up. Sorry. The way you said it, I couldn't help myself.
Damn you! Damn you all to hell!
I kind of need that drop from Planet of the Apes.
I just gotta say that was perfect.
Thank you.
He does a great Taylor, and he does a great Constantine. What can we say?
And now we know he does a great Heston. This guy can literally do it all.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they've been actively going to, and plus, this was Zaslav's like priority when he took over. He said, we're trying to repair relations with a lot of our guys, and they've been doing it with Zack Snyder as well. Because remember, Full Circle would not have happened were it not for Warner Brothers saying, yeah, you can show our movies, you can have this big event, you can have Jim do a post shirt, you can do whatever you need, Zach.
I wouldn't like. I think probably on the Zack Snyder front, I think we won't hear anything until after his contract is up, because
every bit.
I think he's still going to do something with Netflix, but he won't be exclusive anymore.
The one thing I will say, we won't hear anything about anything until after at least Rebel Moon comes out because that has to do well. Which, if that does well, you gotta believe Warner Bros. Is gonna be like, can we share him? Except for Henry Cavill's that guy. We'll see. Remember, they're still in the process of doing that. It could still happen.
I'm sorry, but WB did him dirty. I'm sorry,
Oh,
they did
yes.
him real dirty.
But it was partly the old and new regime, but still. But and also when you look at it, it was also a significant part of it was his management like screwed him royally. That's why he fired them.
Who, Henry Cavill?
Yeah, because reportedly they were holding up his cameo until and like they pushed so that he could only get because apparently the plan was he was supposed to show up in cameos for other movies like Shazam and stuff, and then he would get his own movie. They said no, he has to get the movie first, and then what played out.
I mean, honestly, I don't blame them for going that route. But another factor to consider is Henry Cavill and Dwayne Johnson have the same manager. I wonder how much that actually hurt Henry.
Yeah,
and remember, the manager, I think, is either Dwayne's wife or like ex-wife, or like there's some romantic stuff there.
And what's up, Caitlin? I gotta say, yeah, I agree with her on this partly. GL is one of my favorite superheroes, and Flash, I've started getting a little bit more into him.
I do want to wind back to Salty's comment to do that one. So the thing about the Hobbit trilogy is, it's yes, WB was a part of it, but like a lot of the problems the Hobbit can be laid at Del Toro's feet, because Benicio del Toro was the one who was supposed to direct the Hobbit, and he pulled out last minute. So Peter Jackson wasn't even going to direct the Hobbit, and he actually had to step up and do that. And that was like Lord of the Rings had like 10 years to prepare for that. Peter had at most 3 to prepare for the Hobbit. So
okay, so Caitlin, there is director's cut of the Batman Forever movie that apparently is way better and way darker, because what happens is that when the movie's coming out, this was after the movie, this was after Batman Returns, when the Penguin, for example, bit someone's nose off. So, and it's kind of funny that they had these TV programs where like parents would parade kids in front of TVs to say that the Batman movie, and no, Dave, we're talking about the Flash on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. But the thing is, so these parents paraded their kids in front of TV to say about how Batman Returns gave them nightmares, which it's not that they always do this. But so then WB took the cut of Batman Forever and made it more of a comedy, made it more comedic, and took out certain scenes and stuff. It's basically the Snyder cut of the Batman Forever, but it's not 4 hours.
I will say, in kind of to be all things being fair, the problem was really Batman Returns, because that is a really dark film, but it got McDonald's toys. It's an adult film that they marketed towards kids. So I mean, obviously a lot of the outrage is overblown, but at the same time, I can kind of understand why some parents got pissed.
It was still more balanced than Batman and Robin. Way more balanced.
And awesome. The thing is, I really feel bad for Joel Schumacher, because he is objectively a good director. And the thing that, like, I've said this on the stream multiple times, go watch The Lost Boys, okay? He directed that movie, and besides it being just a dang good film, it really kind of shows you it's basically the Batman film we could have gotten, because it's like early a vampire film.
Karen's nice, Dave.
Yeah, that's like extremely accurate.
Oh, so Captain Marvel was around the 90s?
Well,
technically, he was.
Technically, he was, if you want to talk DC.
Oh, yeah, nice. But that's for you, Tavia, because I know you called Shazam Captain Marvel. But,
yeah, like, that's the thing about Batman 3. It's like, originally, Tim Burton was going to do Batman 3. In fact, Keaton was supposed to come back for Batman 3. Also, fun fact, did you know, I think it was in Batman and Robin, Damian Wayans was actually supposed to play Robin. I believe it had been Batman Returns, and he actually got paid for it because they had a pay-or-play contract. Like,
That's
yeah.
awesome. I love that. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. He directed Falling Down too. A lot of good films.
Yeah, he directed Falling Down, Phantom of the Opera, a lot of really good stuff. And I really feel bad because if you ever watch the commentary of like Batman for Batman and Robin, he's just constantly apologizing for all this stuff. And like, I really wish the Schumacher cut could have come out during his lifetime, and then like people would have realized, oh, holy crap, this is what we could have gotten. He would have gotten the redemption. Also, hey JD.
And also, I get the feeling that when the Schumacher cut comes out, we're all gonna be saying again.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
Because wait a second, there's another occasion when Warner Brothers butchered a movie and blamed the butchering on the director. Where have we heard that before?
Also, yes, Dave. We like one of the greatest tragedies in the world.
Yeah,
we never got to see Billy D. Williams.
I gotta say, I could see Billy D. Williams playing a killer Harvey Dent, pun intended.
Also, that would have been another example of like a black person playing a white role and actually making it work.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, exactly. And now, do you guys think we've kind of hinted about this? Do you think, let's say they release it on Max, you think it's going to do well on Max?
Very well. I'm buying the Blu-ray.
Oh, well, yeah, I will buy it on Blu-ray. It'll go on the shelf, too. I plan on having a shelf of all the director's cuts. Now, actually, Tevye brings up a good thing. And by the way, Alicia Silverstone's costume better have the same aesthetic of costuming.
We're talking Batman Forever. He was in Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Just pointing that out.
So Tevye brings up a good point. It actually gives us a terrific transition to our second part of this topic. Let's talk about superhero directors' cuts in general, because Tevye brought up the Donner cut.
Yep.
Which I don't think I have seen.
All right, let me explain the Richard Donner cut, because that does require some explanation.
Go ahead.
So, when they shot the original Superman movies back in like the 70s, they were originally shooting Superman 1 and 2 at the same time. Like, if you go back on the special features and watch some of like the audition tapes, they're actually doing scenes to Superman 2, which is like really weird. So they're shooting Superman 1 and 2 at the same time, and they decide to finish up Superman 1 and just release that. And so Richard Donner was the director for that. And after Superman 1 came out, they fired Richard Donner and brought in Richard Lester, and he did Superman 2, changed some stuff. And so the Donner cut is basically the footage that Donner shot for Superman 2, his version, blah, blah, blah.
And you know what's hilarious? So years ago, I think this is before I had you guys on the show, I had someone that kept coming into my comments saying that they're never going to restore the Snyder verse. So okay,
Well,
and then
look what happened there.
No, trust me, it links to this, and that the Warner Brothers was still building toward the Nightmare universe, but with the Whedon cut. And when I asked him to like present evidence of the Whedon cut setting stuff out, he like brought up like Darkseid and stuff, and I'm like, you realize Darkseid is a DC villain everywhere, right? But
I mean, Darkseid is Darkseid even in the Whedon cut? I can't remember.
They just say in a throw off line, Steppenwolf says for Darkseid.
Yeah, so no.
But the thing is, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I said they're going to make the Snyder cut canon. I was right, but then he brought up they're not going to make it canon because they didn't make like the Donner cut canon.
I mean, when it comes to Superman continuity, it's a little dicey. It's like you really got like what 3 timelines? There's like the main one, Superman 1 through 4. Yeah, Superman 1, 2, then Return, then Superman 1, then Donner cut.
Yeah. Dave brings up a good point. With Batman and Robin, Schumacher was like, whatever, I'll just make a modern version of the Adam West show.
Well, the problem with like the latter too is that's when like they were really getting pressured by like the toy people. Mm-hmm. So when that's why like you had like that's how the Batmobile designs got a lot crazier because like they wanted to be like toyetic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, so let's do this real quick. I'm going to explain the Snyder cut. So because Caitlin's asked us to explain all.
And then I'll explain the Schumacher cut.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was we got Man of Steel in 2013. I enjoyed it. it actually performed very well and all that. And they authorized part 2. But what you have to understand is when Zack was brought on to do DC, the original deal was he was going to do a Superman trilogy. But when Man of Steel did well, they told him, okay, how would you like to do an entire DC universe, establish our Justice League and stuff? So Zack was like, oh, okay, cool. So he did Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. And then they butchered that movie. I liked Man of Steel. Well, you're in good company, my friend.
Yes.
What
You're
happened
among
was
friends.
you were among friends. So what happened was, and this is where it gets really crazy, the BVS, they took 30 minutes out of Batman versus Superman. And that 30 minutes changes that movie dramatically. Would you guys agree, right?
Oh, yeah.
To give you an idea of what they took out parts where essentially like they took out an explanation for why Superman didn't know that there was a bomb in the wheelchair in the Capitol.
Entire subplots, like the one with like the guy in the wheelchair, like probably like basically there's a whole thing of like Lois like investigating stuff. Like probably one of my favorite things is like her scene where she goes to the apartment, it's like, oh, he just bought groceries. Like why would a person who wants to kill himself like go do groceries? I actually love that moment.
Yeah, it made Lois Lane useful for once.
Oh,
I had to. It can have 5 hours to be of it. It doesn't change Lex Luthor being a better Joker than Jared Leto's. Oh, okay.
I disagree. Like Critical Blast, I love you, and you're still distributing all my comics after this. But like, I gotta disagree. Like, I actually feel like
if you read Birthright, that's the Lex Luthor they were going for.
I actually think the Lex Luthor we got was pretty good. Like he was sufficiently menacing and whatnot. Like maybe not the menacing we're used to, but I do think he worked well. But that's my opinion.
And then what happens is, so that movie comes out and it does well. It makes close to $1 billion, but everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I hate this movie. It's so dark. It's so dumb."
By the way, BVS made more than the Batman before being adjusted for inflation.
Yeah. So then Snyder's daughter unfortunately commits suicide. So obviously Zack has to step back and deal with that, and he steps down as director. In reality, it wasn't just that. It's just at that point he couldn't take it anymore because Warner Bros. Was constantly on his back. So
and also another thing to note is they had actually brought in Ben Affleck as producer on the Snyder Cut as a means to like keep him in check. Like I think that's like something that like not a lot of people talk about.
Not to keep him in check. No, that was Jeff Johns they brought in to keep him in check.
I thought they did bring in Ben Affleck.
No, what happened was Ben Affleck was a producer on I think the BVS, and then he brought in Chris Terrio. But what happened is, all right. So they bring in Joss Whedon to take over directorial stuff for Justice League. Sorry,
go ahead.
They said it was just for connective tissue. Like he was just going to guide it through the editing process. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's totally fine with it. We'll deal with it. So Justice League comes out and it doesn't do well. Then
my personal theory is Suicide Squad probably had a big impact on the Justice League because Suicide Squad, the initial trailer didn't do well, and then they did the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer, which like set everyone on fire, and then they recut the movie. And let's be honest, Suicide Squad actually did pretty decently. And so I think, and like if you look at the trailer for Justice League, it's very much in the Suicide Squad mold. Like they had, I think, a thump in the trailer. So I do think they were trying to go for a musical route, kind of thing.
Yeah. So Dave brings up my next point. So Warner Brothers used it. So Warner Brothers essentially used Snyder's daughter's tragedy to fire him, and that is disgusting as hell. Not only did that, they blamed Snyder for Justice League bombing. They blame him for that and say, okay, the audience is not really into his cut and to his universe. So let's go in the opposite direction.
Notice how if you watch Justice League, Joss Whedon's name is suspiciously absent.
Yeah. So then 3 years of campaigning later, on May 20th, 2020, Zack is holding a live stream watch through of Man of Steel. At the end of it, he does essentially a Q&A with the fans that can come on the stream and talk. Henry Cavill shows up.
Wow,
and then,
quite a fan.
And then he goes, I think you should show it. He turns the camera around. There's a black and white poster of the Justice League, and it says the Snyder Cut 2021 on HBO Max. So basically what it is, Warner Brothers, after being pressured by fans for 3 years, told Zack, and because they needed content to put on HBO Max, how would you feel about coming back and completing your cut of Justice League? We'll even give you $70 million to do it.
So Jared, correct me if I'm wrong on any of these details. I feel like the Snyder Cut was an AT&T call and not a Warner Brothers call.
Yeah, it was.
Because I feel like WB was actually resistant to it, and AT&T kind of forced them to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I that's what I had heard. I just was like, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong.
And then Warner Brothers was still trying to screw with it. Like Zack wanted to put in Jon Stewart Green Lantern played by Wade D. Carr. They didn't want to do that because they thought that it would interfere with their own Green Lantern project. The thing is that they already told us.
WB is always trying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They already said the Snyder Cut's not canon, so interfere. But anyway, they think the audience are morons. That's what they think. And that's why you have Martian Manhunter at the end of the Snyder Cut. That was originally supposed to be Green Lantern, but I'm fine with that. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. It was still cool.
Also, I got to call out WB. They're perpetually like trying to develop a Green Lantern movie, but they never do. Like, remember how they were supposed to do a Green Lantern's TV show at one point? Like, remember that big do you remember that big special they did on CW with like Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns? Well, they announced like all this stuff. Like, they're also mentioned, we're doing a Green Lantern Corps movie.
Yeah. I do remember that. There's supposed to be a Cyborg movie as well, by the way. And so
we got stoned.
Yes. So then what happened?
Victor stoned.
Yeah, and then as far as we know, so then the Snyder Cut comes out and it's a massive hit. And what does Warner Brothers say? Yeah, we're not going to pursue that any further. And the story goes that Warner Max, which was the group that developed it for HBO Max, wanted to continue on with the Snyderverse separately from the traditional Warner Brothers thing. In other words, finish Zack's plan and put it on HBO Max exclusively, which I would have taken that.
If they had actually done that.
Then what happens is that Toby frickin' Emmerich, one of the three people of the Trinity of Idiots,
Warner Brothers' own personal Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doofuses is more like it. But
okay. Thus a name was born.
Assumed. I can't take credit for that. That was Wes from Thinking Critical. But he says that about Marvel editorial, so I'm like, that's genius. So he assumes control of Warner Max and shuts them down so they can't do that. And hey, another thing, Jeff Johns, that turd, he played a role in completely sabotaging because he came in and he was one of the people constantly pressuring Zack to compromise on his vision. And then, it's kind of funny. When the Snyder Cut came out, what was the number one, what was one of the number one trending things I heard? I was Zack Snyder. Because when people saw what the plan was, because the plan was, I'm going to get them to become the superheroes you know them to be, even though arguably Henry Cavill was the Superman. But he was saying, I'm going to get him as close as you want him to be to that. I just have to build up to that. But they wanted to kneecap him because Warner Bros. Was constantly trying to catch up to the MCU, but they wanted to take shortcuts. That's why we skipped the Justice League.
I dare anyone to go look at all the reviews for the Snyder Cut. Even the people who trashed it, even the ardent haters said, yeah, this is still better than what we got in theaters.
Hell, Nerdet's newsstand was like, yeah, it's the better cut.
Even the haters, they have to admit, yeah, this is the better.
And by the way,
version.
Suicide Squad was actually a pretty big hit, but that's the other. Okay, so with that one, so as Nick said,
it also won an Oscar. It literally won an Oscar
for makeup.
We have to mention that. Yeah.
So, by the way, the Snyder Cut actually won an Oscar award for most fan cheered moment from the scene where the Flash goes back in time. So, suck it, Marvel. They beat two Marvel
okay,
projects.
no, suck at Warner Brothers. Roll the clip.
Well, yeah, because guess what? You know who was in the audience? Toby Emmerich, and he was the one that specifically said, "I'm going to take this Flash scene out."
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
So, and by the way, if the Snyder Cut had come out, Warner Brothers would have had the first big black superhero because Cyborg. Isn't that interesting?
So it's like Warner Brothers beat Marvel to the punch with Wonder Woman. They could have beaten Black Panther to the punch.
Can you imagine if they beat The World Outside Your Window?
I mean, to be fair, Wonder Woman is still probably the best female-led superhero movie that's come out yet.
Far. The sequel is arguably one of the worst.
Black Widow is okay. It should have come out earlier.
Black Widow's okay for what it is. If you watch it in isolation, it's actually pretty good, except for the Taskmaster part, and that's utter BS.
By the way, Jared,
mm-hmm.
I will say when we do our eventual MCU watch order, can we watch Black Widow as part of Phase 3?
Yeah, we'll watch it in proper timeline. We could. We can watch it in proper order. The thing is that then we'll have to start. Then we'll kind of have to watch Captain Marvel earlier because she takes place in the 90s.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
We're not going to watch Captain Marvel. I'm making an executive decision.
Here's what we'll do. We'll just skip it. It has zero effect on the plot.
I watched it once for April Fool's Day out of respect for you. Please, for the love of all that is Snyder, do not make me watch it again. Please, for the love of Snyder.
You said his name. I cannot say no. So, yes, what we're going to do is we're going to skip that movie. So, anyway, with the Ayer cut, there's another cut of Suicide Squad as well. Because what happened was, like Nick said, the first trailer came out, didn't do so well. The second trailer came out and did very well. So they had a trailer company recut the entire movie. And that went just about as well as you would think. Although the movie is still pretty good.
Here's how I'd like to put it. The Bohemian Rhapsody trailer is like eating a Hershey bar. Okay? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the Hershey bar is good. The movie is like eating 50 Hershey bars at the same time.
And by the way, if you think that the Joker not being had barely anything to do in the theatrical cut of Suicide Squad, apparently he's like first off, he's one of the main antagonists of the Ayer cut. Steppenwolf was supposed to show up in the Ayer cut because to link it to Zack Snyder's Justice League, because the way Enchantress turns evil in the Ayer cut is she's under the control of a mother box.
Also, I will say, if you want to get an idea of what the Ayer cut would have been, watch the first trailer, because like that was when the Ayer cut was still a thing.
Yep, that's it. So, and we know the Ayer cut exists because David Ayer himself says, yeah, the cut exists. He's shown it to people, by the way. And he says all it needs is that a little CGI polish and it's done. It would not require the same amount of money that was required for the Snyder cut.
I mean, if you want to bring back Margot Robbie and shove her in those short shorts, I wouldn't complain.
I wouldn't complain at all, but that's because she's Margot Robbie. It's like, so those are the Snyderverse cuts. Now I want to turn it over to Nick, who's going to talk about the Schumacher cut.
Okay, so like I said, the Schumacher cut is Batman is a cut of Batman Forever, and so Batman Forever is the third film in, let's just call it, the Keaton-verse, for lack of a better.
Real quick,
okay.
I just want to address Brown Destroyer's comment. Well, why do you guys think there's so much division within DC fan base, but Marvel fan base is united? Is because Marvel fans don't have any expectation and used to getting screwed up in the comics. True, but it's also because Marvel fans are used to getting the exact same thing over and over again, and the thing about it, there's less expectations on the Marvel characters. It's like there's no like Christopher Reeves like version of Captain America, so no one's like as like defensive about
also,
Marvel.
Marvel knows what it's doing, and it has for like the past 20 years. DC is like very spastic. Like they give off the impression that they have no clue what they're doing and like what direction they want to go. Like they keep flip-flopping. Like it's like, oh, people like this, we're gonna go this direction. They're like a squirrel. It's like they're constantly chasing the flavor of the month, what people think is popular, and they don't have a unified vision. And Marvel, for all its faults, and this applies to Star Wars, applies to DC, and then DC, but like Marvel, they have a vision and they have a consistent tone throughout all their stuff, and the consistency is what unites Marvel, and it's the inconsistency that really helps divide DC.
Yep, that's true.
Dang, that actually came out really well.
Yeah, it actually works very well. That may be a new thing for you, Nick. So back to Nick.
Okay, so with the Schumacher Cut, like we said, Tim Burton was supposed to direct it. He's actually a producer on this film, by the way, so he did have some influence. And like if you watch the movie, you can definitely tell there is some Burton influence on this film. And Schumacher is actually a good director. He can do the dark stuff. And originally this was supposed to be a very much different film. And there has been deleted scenes that have released throughout the years. They're on YouTube. You can go watch them like literally right now. That are really good. And they show, like, you watch the movie, you can kind of tell there's plot threads that like kind of dangle there, like Bruce Wayne accepting who he is. Like, I'm not Batman because I have to be. I'm Batman because I choose to be. He says that at the end of the film. That kind of comes out of nowhere. There's a whole story thread about like why does he have to be Batman? And like Dick Grayson coming there is meant to be kind of a challenge to that idea. And there's a lot of these story threads that aren't there, but they're there. You can kind of see hints of them in deleted scenes. And just looking at like the alternate opening of Batman Forever, where like Two-Face escapes, it almost seems like Tim Burton directed it himself. And it's just like Spider-Man 3, where it's like there's hints of a better story buried in there. Also, release the Raimi cut hashtag.
Yeah, so this whole idea about how Warner Brothers tried to market themselves as the studio for directors, that's BS. That's one time. And then Dave says it makes zero sense though. Why would they cut so much Joker footage? Harley and Joker are the most iconic thing from the movie for most people. They sold because nothing Warner Brothers does makes sense. Just Dave, if you get nothing else in that stream, just understand that Warner Brothers historically does the opposite of what they should do.
I mean, literally, Suicide Squad was marketed off the back of Harley Quinn
and the Joker.
When Suicide Squad came out, like Harley Quinn was at like the apex of her popularity. I think she was more popular then than she is now. I mean, it's not like he's like dead, but like her popularity's gone down slightly since then.
Because the comic run has been like crappy. But Dave says, I've heard Burton was only given a producer credit because of pre-production work he did on Batman 3. He had no involvement at all.
Yeah, Keaton was supposed to come back. In fact, there actually exists a suit, a mold of a Batman suit for Keaton. I've actually seen videos of it. And when the director's shift happened, Keaton dropped out because he didn't, he was in solidarity with Burton and whatnot. So they pretty much kind of did like a soft reboot of the film series. Like some actors came over, like Michael Gotham is in all 4 films. Gordon, the actor for Commissioner Gordon, is in all of them for some reason.
Yeah, and by the way, hot takes. I'm talking Flash on Monday, so I'll send you the link, and then you can come on that stream because
also,
yeah.
I do want to do this kind of like a little piece of trivia. So you remember the character Gossip Gertie?
Yeah,
that's Bob Kane's wife.
Really?
Yeah, like I wanted to do kind of like that, like that. Like she's in Forever, but she gets a little more speaking, a few more lines and returns. That is Bob Kane's wife.
And hot takes. I'm seeing Flash tomorrow, but for those that don't know, Bob Kane, or some of you don't know this, Bob Kane is the co-creator of Batman. Emphasis on co.
And do you want to know the first movie to properly credit
yes.
Bob Kane and Bill Finger? BVS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so say what you want about Batman vs. Superman. It was the most like true to Batman's origin because it said.
To be fair, that was the first movie that came out after the lawsuit. So Just to be
It
fair.
still gets credit. It still gets credit, but it's kind of funny how before the movie even started, it's more true to Batman's origin. Isn't that funny?
I still don't like how he's credited. It's Bob Kane with Bill Finger. It's like it's like they had to get in that last FU.
Yeah. Hot takes. I haven't seen it. I'm seeing it tomorrow, and I'm seeing it again on Sunday. So there you go. So yeah. So that's very. See, that's why I keep Nick around the channel, because he has all these cool trivia for all these movies.
Well, just be happy when I engage autism mode. So
yeah.
Autism mode, engage.
Yeah. Brown Destroyer says originally Batman was a ginger with a red costume. Hey Nick, all you need is a red costume, and you can be Batman.
I am Batman.
Some believe Kane had more input into the creation of Batman than Bill Finger. Yeah, for supposedly.
Yeah. I mean, we could have a whole discussion about that.
That's actually a good idea for a stream.
Sure, I'm down.
Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be a fantastic idea for a nice little stream on who really created Batman. But
Bill Finger.
Well, yeah, if I would say so.
There, I answered your question.
From what I've heard about conversations with Bob Kane and people that were around that would know this information, it's mostly Bill Finger.
Also, for the record, Stan Lee could not stand Bob Kane. He said that multiple times.
So many people. I think Steranko actually slapped Bob Kane.
Oh yeah, I've heard that story. It's
That's
so
such
hilarious.
a great story. We'll tell that on the Bob Kane episode.
Like Bob Kane would just he'd be in a wrestling and be like, "Hi, I'm Bob Kane. I created Batman." Like he just like it's just the way he went about it. Meanwhile, Stan Lee, it's like created Spider-Man, X-Men, created all these wonderful heroes. He's just like, I'm Stan Lee.
And now here's the thing: there is a debate between Stan Lee and even Jack Kirby's failing on who really created all these characters, because of the Marvel method, where Stan goes, "Okay, have this person punch this," and then the artist essentially tells the story.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out, because Stan Lee really screwed over Kirby, and I kind of want to see some justice.
Yeah, I gotta be to be clear, Stan Lee's a fantastic ambassador for comics. It's just some of the things I'm like,
he's still a human being, though.
He's still a human being. And but I'm wondering, I want to see that new documentary that came out about Stan Lee to see how accurate that is to what actually happened. By that same token, some say Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby had a lot more yeah, exactly.
We were actually talking about this on my stream earlier. There are people claiming that that Spider-Man was basically just a Steve Ditko self-insert, because they pulled up pictures of Steve Ditko around the time, and yeah, he
did look
similar.
Like
but at the same time, he didn't really act like Steve Ditko, because if you know Steve Ditko, he doesn't think like Peter Parker.
Yeah, he doesn't. So continue on with your storytelling, Nick.
So yeah, so they tried to make Batman Forever a lot darker and whatnot. Maybe more of not as dark as a Burton film, but kind of more balanced. But there's kind of more forces at work. They wanted to make it more toyetic. I'm doing air quotes, can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Schumacher kind of caved to the pressure, and so they came out Forever. And honestly, it was a pretty big hit for its time. I actually remember that. I don't remember if I saw it in theaters. I remember seeing a Batman and Robin in theaters. I know I saw that in theaters. Oh, my childhood, terrible. I remember around around the time Batman Forever came out. I know I was hyped for it. And then obviously with Batman Forever, you had two Kissed by a Rose, which literally has nothing to do with Batman. It's just a banger of a song. And then the U2 song "Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me," But yeah, and then obviously they did Batman and Robin, where they kind of doubled down on the toyetic thing. Also, I kind of wanted to dispel kind of thing. I know Jim Carrey gets criticized for his Riddler.
He's actually a pretty good Riddler.
Well, the thing is, he was doing the Adam West version of the Riddler. Like it's like if you go back and watch the Adam West version, it's very clear that that's the version that Jim Carrey was doing. And really, the big problem with Batman Forever is Two-Face, because Tommy Lee Jones just could not give a frick.
And I'm sorry, that is just another Joker. That is not Two-Face.
What's really sad is if you watch the opening scene where Two-Face reveals himself, oh my god, that's great! Like, look, blind, stupid dude. Like, he's actually being all mysterious, and like the reveal of Two-Face. Like,
so he's being Two-Face.
That is I love that scene, because if he would have done that performance, like just a madness, but not like Joker light. Oh my god, that would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Tommy Lee did not like Jim Carrey. They hate each other. Well, I think it was where Tommy Lee didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because who doesn't like what's the word? Who doesn't like Jim Carrey?
Oh, it's burning action. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, he's basically another Joker.
Oh, we've got to get you out of that dress. We got to get you out of these clothes. And it's something black. Tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus? Sorry, I'm just quoting lines now.
Yeah. So basically, it's and how long is the Schumacher Cut? Do you know?
I got no clue.
I think let me look that up real quick.
2 against 2 are better odds.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so even the Epic Film guys are tweeting released the Schumacher Cut. So
yeah,
170 minutes.
That's not bad. It's 170. Oh crap! I thought it was like I said 107, but like 170. That's like dang near almost 3 hours.
So it's another Snyder Cut.
Actually, it is 3 hours. Almost 3. It's like 120 is 2 hours.
It's just under 3 hours, because 3 hours is like 180 minutes. So it's just under that. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Batman Forever. Batman.
And the early screenplay, he was written much more like Two-Face.
So the Batman Forever runtime is 2 hours and 1 minute. So they're literally adding a whole another hour to the film.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I need this movie so badly.
I need this movie. You know what? We can do, you know what we should do? When it comes out, we do a live watch through reaction and discussion on Comics League. We'll all co-stream it.
I don't know. I can't guarantee I won't watch it on my own, because how much I've been waiting for this.
You can watch it again with us. I'm not saying you have to watch it fresh. I'm just saying we'll do another watch through if you guys are interested in that.
Well, if it's going to be a live reaction watch through, I will note that I have seen the movie before. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. But,
we'll probably do it. That'll be an emergency stream the day it comes out.
If we're going to talk about like cuts of movies made by the filmmakers, I want to talk about so Sylvester Stallone actually did a recut of like Rocky IV recently. I remember hearing about it. I was watching Red Cow podcast on YouTube, and they're kind of talking about it. And he kind of like re-edited it with more of like a modern mindset. And Rocky IV is the one with Ivan Drago, by the way.
Okay, I was about to ask you about that one.
And I need to check that one out, honestly, because I've seen Rocky IV, and it's not a bad movie. I mean, it's obviously of its time. But like, yeah, I'm kind of interested because like, I feel like Sylvester Stallone really doesn't get the credit he deserves as a filmmaker, because he is actually like, he wrote Rocky, he wrote Rocky, and he's directed a lot of the Rocky
dude
films.
is very talented.
Yeah, people tend to think of him as more of like a musclehead like action star, but he's actually a very talented filmmaker, not just writing but directing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go look at, if you ever looked it up, like look at the story of like how Rocky was made. It's actually really sad. He actually had to sell his dog for a little while, and then like had to like rebuy it after the movie for like a really big price or whatever. Also, like the turtles from the first movie, you can actually see them in Creed because he kept the pet turtles because turtles live like forever.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
still
I
alive.
saw that.
I thought that was really nice. The fact that
I saw all the other Rocky movies after no before watching. I mean, I saw Creed. I watched Creed before watching the Rocky movies. And Caitlin, you have to watch the Rocky movies. Those are fantastic.
I will say,
Wait.
watching Creed after watching the Rocky films, they hit harder.
They do hit harder. And by the way, Brown,
I've never seen any of the Rambo movies. I've been wanting to watch First Blood because I know that's like the most.
You've never watched Rambo?
I know. I need to give up my American
That is
card.
a man movie, dude.
Jared, my man card is in the mail.
You have to. You'll get it back when you watch those movies. Jeez, you've never watched Rambo. If JJheat were here, he would be screaming at you right about now.
Yeah, he'd be giving me a falcon punch, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. But too much toxic masculinity. Oh, come on. Just watch the movie.
Come on.
It's actually pretty good. They're actually really good.
She's being hyperbolic, by the way. I'm pretty, like, if this is who I think it is, I'm pretty sure she's just being hyperbolic.
It's all, of course. A video on YouTube called 10 Things Batman Forever version you've never seen goes over the early screenplay. Most of that wasn't filmed for Schumacher Cut either. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, also, did you know that there was actually supposed to be a fifth film in the series called it was under two different names. There's Batman Triumphant and then Batman Unchained. Like, do you know that episode of Batman animated series where like Batman's put on trial and like the Joker's presiding it? They're actually going to do an episode similar to that. They're actually going to have Jack Nicholson return as the Joker.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, imagine getting that in like the year 2000, like 2000, 2001. Imagine getting
hyperbolic time chamber.
Hey, just as long as you don't reverse the polarity, we're good.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, I heard about those previous two like lost to Batman movies.
Yeah, and we want to talk about like lost movies. Obviously there's Superman Lives, which with Nick Cage and whatnot, and then there's also Superman Flyby, which was going to be directed by J.J. Abrams, and Henry Cavill actually auditioned for that one.
And wait a second, there is also Batman versus Superman.
There's Justice League Mortal, which was going to be done by George Méliès, which I'm sorry, but like that would have been a great movie.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the script; it's awesome.
And George Méliès is honestly just a great director.
What we're gonna do for Comics League is we're gonna get the crew together and a few friends as necessary, and we are going to do a live reading of the Justice League Mortal script.
Oh, dear God.
Superman.
I am reading what Dave said. Like, Howard Stern circa 99, 2000 as a Scarecrow.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how that would work, but I'm there anyway.
I think it could work.
I don't know. I haven't seen much acting for Howard Stern, but just the idea of like Howard Stern in his prime doing that movie. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think that's a good place to leave it because there's still a lot that could happen. So in conclusion, we're fairly certain that the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever is coming out.
Also, I got to say this. 2 against 2 are better odds.
Yeah, you already said that one, but okay.
Whatever.
You could have gotten drive-through.
I'll get drive-through.
Mm-hmm. So
I love how that worked.
Yeah, it does work. I'm gonna get that drop too. I need that drop.
By the way, I've told Jared one of my life's goals is to get a '89 Batmobile, and one of the first things I'm gonna do when I buy it is I'm gonna get drive-through and the '89 Batmobile.
But
also,
when Jared comes
to visit, I'm gonna take him for a ride in the Batmobile, and we're gonna get drive-through.
But wouldn't that work more if it's in the Batman Forever Batmobile because he says I'll get drive-through?
I don't care. It's the '89 Batmobile. I don't think people will care much. They'll see the Batmobile getting drive-through, and they will freak the frick out.
I will build one day. I will have the BVS Batmobile, and we will have a Batmobile race.
I will take you down to Milan Dragway, and we will do that, and it will be awesome.
Yes, can you imagine if we put that on Comics League? The 89 Batmobile versus the BVS Batmobile. What will win?
We'll literally rent out a drag strip and we'll do that. We'll make that a whole thing,
dude. I kind of want an Injustice movie. Okay, are you talking animated or live action? Because the animated movie came out and may not be that good. And by the way, kind of want an Injustice movie. That's kind of what the Snyderverse was building toward, except more mind control than like Superman all of a sudden turning evil was going to happen.
Problem is, we literally are living in the nightmare timeline ourselves right now.
Yeah. I've been saying for years that it should turn these notable unproduced screenplays into direct-to-video animated movies. Now that is an idea right there.
Just imagine if they... I just can't wait for the Superman Lives animated movie. Like, I just want to see the Superman fight a giant spider in the third act.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or Justice League Mortal as an animated. What they could just do the next time they do a DC animated movie universe, or even for the Tomorrowverse, they could do Justice League Mortal, the plot for it. Yeah, live action. Good. Just want to make sure. Is it possible to market the Batmobile for mass audience?
You can buy a Batmobile without too much trouble. It's basically kind of a custom job. Basically, if you want a Batmobile, expect to pay at least $100K for a Batmobile. Like I've seen people post online, 89 Batmobile replicas, for around 100, 200K. Also,
that's a status symbol right there.
So, as I just want to do this kind of topic, and then we'll kind of end it. This will be our fun topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna name the top 5 vehicles you want to own replicas of.
Okay, BVS Batmobile.
I want to go first.
Okay.
All right, 89 Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
Mystery Machine, Jurassic Park Jeep, Light Cycle. And then, I'm probably gonna say this is the last one. It's freaking me up.
And by the way, chat, you can also participate in this game.
Yes. Supernatural. The Impala.
Okay. All right. So BVS Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say the Avengers Quinjet, because yes, I want a Quinjet.
Ones you can actually own.
Dang it. I'm gonna have to go with the
Caitlin's.
Caitlin wins, so there you go. I want an at. Can I have an at?
No, shut up before I at you. Actually, I gotta redo my list because she reminded me of some stuff. 89 Batmobile, Echo 1, Mystery Machine, DeLorean, Light Cycle.
Mine would be Batmobile, BVS Batmobile, DeLorean, so I can go back in time and release and tell Warner Brothers do not take half hours out of BVS. Let's see, what else do I really want? Bruce Wayne's Mercedes he had in the Snyder Cut. I really want that car.
That's got to be at least a $300K car.
Yeah, that is. And
what's your superpower? I'm rich.
I want that. And probably
actually, if you do get that car, your license plate should just read "I'm rich."
And then we're gonna film a video where you get in my Mercedes, and then you go, "What are your superpowers again?" I'm rich.
Right. No. That's your ignition signal. The audio plays whenever. Also, some honorable mentions. I'm
not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go with the Bumblebee Chevy Camaro.
Okay, that's not too hard to get.
Mm-hmm. And then, wait, I just wanted to do this real quick. Caitlin has good choice. A Megazord, Ecto Run. Bruno Shore says the Bat Bike from Flash could be super cool. Yeah, it actually could. And then the Impala. Okay, good. And then if I recall, Justice League Moral screenplay took a lot of inspiration from Crisis on Infinite Earths, since Wally West was taken over after Barry Allen dies and Countdown. It was really a mix of Crisis and Infinite Crisis, and then any Star Wars ship. Yeah, you can just it has to be a vehicle you could actually own.
Yeah.
But go on, Nick. What's your honorable mention? And by the way, I would do the classic Camaro and not the newer one. You got to go with the classic. What's up,
Yeah.
Purge?
So, crap, I gotta, dang it. I had remembered it, but then I forgot it. So, crap.
Okay, but what Star Wars ships would you want to own? 5 Star Wars ships: Millennium Falcon, Anakin Starfighter, the Razor Crest, and I would have to say one of those Mandalorian fighter transports.
All right, so I would want oh, yep, it's Courage. It's my boy. It's my boy. He's my homie. He's just kind of hanging out here, saying hi to all you people. Yeah, for me, definitely X-Wing. Yeah, those Corellian freighters are actually really nice. So, probably a Naboo fighter, because those just seem like hot rods. Death Star. I mean, to be fair,
it is a ship, so I guess it counts. But I'm like, jeez.
Well, we both know it's no moon, so
yeah, exactly. It's too big to be a space station. It's amazing how quotable those Star Wars movies are.
Look at the size of that thing.
There was a clip that was the entire X-Wing sequence, but whenever they would say that, say lines like that, it would be Michael Scott saying, "That's what she said."
Careful, kid. Great shot, kid. Don't get cocky.
Yeah. How about the Blade Runner car?
Cool. I want the Blade Runner gun.
Yes. All right, last one. Fictional weapons that you would want to own.
Lightsabers are can't be on the list.
I want Wonder Woman's sword because it's so sharp it can cut atoms. I would have to go. Oh, Borg cube. That is an excellent choice for a spaceship.
We are the Borg.
Resistance is futile. I would have to go with a Green Lantern ring for obvious reasons.
Oh dear God, that's cheating.
No, it's not. The Punisher War Machine suit, that counts. And I would have to go with the Infinity Gauntlet. I picked all the God tier stuff. No, actually, wait. The Omega effect that gives Darkseid his powers, so I'd be literally invulnerable.
No, I'm gonna have a piece of paper that has the anti-life equation on it.
That's not the way it works.
I'll make it legal. So I win, basically.
Yeah. So what is that the only thing you want to get, the anti-life equation?
Dude, it's the anti-life equation. Do I need anything else?
Okay, let's say top 5 fictional weapons, and you can't pick the anti-life equation.
Okay. Master Sword, first and foremost. Vampire Killer Whip from Castlevania. Blades of Chaos from God of War. This is just all video game weapons.
The entire Owen power battery. Nice, Dave. He won up mine.
All right. So, I'm trying to think here. Probably Blue Beetle Scarab.
Okay.
Those are pretty powerful.
You don't want an Iron Man suit?
Actually, I would want a Power Morpher.
There you go. That's a good one. Because if you get a Power Ranger, the ability to morph into a Power Ranger, the Zord comes with it. So that becomes a thing. But, okay.
Wait. Let's see if I have anything with me. Last, I would want a Digivice.
Okay, that works.
And probably one more thing would I would want a full set of talismans from Jackie Chan Adventures.
Right. My honorable
Jared's like, I have no
mention-
idea what that is.
No, I know what it is. My honorable mention is the singular ability to wield to bend all the elements.
Oh, so you're the Avatar.
Yeah, I'd be the Avatar. So on that note, we're gonna call it for the night. It's about 1:36 in the morning here, so I'm just gonna end it. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream.
Wanna bet.
Anyone that's here for the first time, welcome. I only ask humbly that you like, comment, subscribe, share this stream. It was super fun getting to talk about the Schumacher Cut and being able to like outline the history of Warner Brothers screwing over other directors. And actually, since I mentioned that, I might as well just say
Yeah,
this.
second Warner Brothers.
So on the and again, in terms of what's coming out, and by the way, Caitlin says Power Morpher, Sword of Power from He-Man, yes. Master Sword, G-Vice and Net Navi, a Buster Sword, and a Lionheart. Nice.
Oh, also, I have to note, I would want the Deca driver for Kamen Rider Decade. So.
Oh, of course. So,
Caitlin,
and remember,
you're literally a lady after my own heart. I love you. So keep being awesome.
So on that note, in terms of like of what's coming out in Comics League, and then I'll go to you, Nick. Tomorrow is the Amazing Spider-Man stream, and then Brown goes, one of those Judge Dredd guns. Yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man, and then yes, exactly. And then on I think Monday is going to be instead of me doing like a general video like I normally do on Comic Talk, we're going to do the Flash discussion where we're going to talk about the movie. Whoever wants to come on the stream will be allowed to. It'll be an open stream. And in terms of Indie Wednesday, I'm going to do the amalgam comic where they merge Frank Castle and Steve Trevor, and oddly enough, make Steve Trevor useful. And then Under Two Capes, TBD. But does a bolt gun and power armor from Warhammer 40K count? I will make it legal.
Yes, it counts.
So Nick, and yes, you can have that. So Nick, where can one find you, and what have you got coming on the channel?
All right, so you can find me on Twitter, just search Phoenix Press, YouTube the same. I got some really great content coming out, like tomorrow. I will be continuing my adventures in Raccoon City, playing Resident Evil 2 Remake. Jared will be rejoining us. He was kind of absent from last week. But also joining us was his replacement, Snyder Queen. So I will literally be double teamed by two of the most snarkiest people I know. If you want to watch me get mocked, belittled, and just downright insulted for every mistake I make, and just honestly have a blast while doing it, please tune into my Resident Evil stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST on the Phoenix Press YouTube channel. And then on Monday, we have the next episode of Avatar Rewatch. Wednesday, we get the next episode of Super Twisted Bros. And every Friday, we do the live stream, the Friday Night Frenzy. We did it.
Today was a fun one.
Oh, it was so great.
Today was awesome, dude.
Probably my best stream yet.
That was probably the best. I'll give you that. That was probably the best. The best one I have been on.
Yes, and you've been on a lot of them because you're very supportive of me.
I appreciate that. And by the way, also on that note, even though Taladia couldn't be here, I just wanted to say congratulations to Taladia for past 500 subs.
Give him a my man, please.
Yes, I will. I will. And I'm happy to report, by the way, so for Comics League, I finally got a photo license, so I will be able to make even better thumbnails than I was making before. So on that very high note, everyone, hashtag release the Schumacher Cut, and we will see you next week. Stay heroic. Bye-bye.